Good morning friends. Today in this video we are going to talk about the first task of the GTO series, and that is called the group discussion. Though group discussion as a task or as a test has been there for quite some time, mostly it was heard earlier in as part of MBA entrance test where they call it GDPI. But in SSB it is part of the GTO series and this is the first task of the GTO series. Hence it is very important to make a first impression on the group as well as on the GTO. So let's analyze how this task is done. It consists of two sets of GDs, and each set of GD, the GTO first announces the topic, then he tells the group members to discuss that for about 15 minutes. It's an open discussion, you don't have to come to any conclusion. You can speak as many times you want, right? But generally GTO tells you that when you're speaking, just ensure that as a group at any one time, one person is speaking. But on ground, when I talk to you, I'll tell you that does not happen actually. So two topics, each time you get 15 minutes to discuss the topic. You discuss the topic openly, you don't have to come to any conclusion as a group. And the topics basically consist of issues which are current in nature, news issues or social issues. Those of you who are going for service entry, for them sometimes issues related to the respective arms and services. Now let's talk of what a GD topic consists of. If I talk of a topic, any one topic, initially the GTO will introduce the topic. He will give you some backdrop about that issue which is going to wanting you to discuss. After that, he will end up in a question, and thereafter he will give you three options. And he leaves it at that. Most of the time GTOs will repeat the topic, sometimes they will not even repeat the topic. So you have to be very attentive when you are listening to GTO. Otherwise you will miss out on the question what he is asking you and also miss out on the options. And then you start talking generally in broad terms, right? Now let's come to a very important point which most of the students keep asking me, sir, how should I make my mark? How should I participate? So there are three situations in that. One is you are into a pure fresher group. Second is you are into a repeater group, but that is also a nice group in which there is a good discussion. And sometimes you happen to be in a very hyper group in which a lot of people called as fish market बन गया था. तो fish market बन गया था, उसको कैसे टैकल करें, आज वो भी डिस्कस करेंगे. So सबसे पहले डिस्कस करते हैं a fresher group. So all of you are going to sit in a circle facing inwards. GTO is sitting outside the circle. So when the topic is announced, he does not give you any time gap. Immediately the moment he says this is the topic, he says okay, start your discussion. So the moment that thing happens, you hardly have any time. So obviously you should try to be in the first few, may or may not be the first speaker. If you have the knowledge of the topic, you start the discussion, but then don't hold the mic all the time. It's an open discussion, others also have to talk. So you speak, you give your views and let others listen to others' views also. Now remember, in a total fresher group, what I have observed, I have been in GTO for about 6 years. What I have observed is in a fresher group, people talk, they let others also talk, and there's a nice discussion, right? However, at times in the fresher group, some people just do not talk. So this is another tip what you can have is when somebody has not got a chance or he is not able to speak, after you have spoken, given your views, you can ask that person if he wants to say something. That only show a good gesture towards others. In second option is when you go to repeater batch. In the repeater batch now, there could be second time repeater or fifth time, sixth time. So people have come well prepared. So there is a lot of information which they want to share with each one. So you don't easily get a chance, but sometimes if there's a nice group, they would listen to each other and give chance to each other to express their views. So in the repeater batch, the mantra is that give some points, after that give some examples to support your views. If you have some data on that issue, you can also share that, but do not cut down others, because there's a hyper discussion there. Do not cut down others, right? That may not be correct, because at the end of it you don't have to come to any conclusion, right? So everybody has a right to say what he wants to say. Listen to each other, but stick to your own views, whatever you are trying to say to others. Now coming to the last part, and this is when there's a fish market. What's a fish market? Fish market is nobody is listening to anyone. At times when I was a GTO, when I saw ended the group discussion turning into a fish market, at times I would even tell them, okay friends, just hold on for a sec. Can you understand each other? Then answer would be, no sir, we are not able to understand. Then how do you expect me to understand you? That used to be my question. And after that I'll say, okay, now start the discussion. But when the group is like super hyper group, they would again end up in a fish market. And the GTO really does not get much this thing, except that he's trying to see who is more hyper, and he try to hear some part of it, but that doesn't help anyone in the group at all. GTO will pick up his threads, what he wants to, for each assess each candidate. That he will do anyway. But fish market overall does more harm than any gain to anyone in the group. So how do we come out of the fish market? Of course, in case you are a sensible candidate, you can even tell somebody, okay, gentlemen, let's listen to one by one whoever is speaking. Make this attempt to break the hyper this thing of the fish market. Otherwise, just speak one or two crux words to express your views. Right? Those crux words can be heard by the group as well as the GTO. Right? When you speak long sentences in a fish market, you will not be heard. So the mantra of expressing your views in fish market is, do not speak very long sentences. Speak in 2 or 3 important words or important examples what you're talking. That's the time it will catch the attention of the GTO as well as of the other members of the group. So follow these small tips which I've given you, and I hope with the help of these small tips, your GD will become very effective and you will be able to make a mark in the GD. Only last point I want to bring out is in the GD, do not shout or do not shout down other, or if there is a competition of raising your voice, don't get into that competition. Keep your cool, give your points sensibly, and the GTO will be able to listen to you and evaluate you. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like our channel, please subscribe, keep seeing other videos. There are almost 50-60 videos on all aspects of SSB and more are yet to come. Thank you very much. All the best.